Namaskar, Salam Alaikum, and very good morning to all the respected dignitaries, honorable guests, proud officers of the Indian Navy, Royal Navy Oman, distinguished members of the Indian and Omani communities. On behalf of the Embassy of India, Muscat, it's my proud privilege to extend a heartfelt welcome to each one of you to this solemn and historic occasion, the flag off ceremony of INSV Kaundinya from Muscat, Oman. We are deeply honored by the presence of our distinguished guests, and may I respectfully acknowledge Commodore Abdullah Al Hajri, Royal Navy of Oman, His Excellency Ambassador Yusuf bin Isa Al Zajjali, Chief HR Department, Foreign Ministry, Deputy Chief of Protocol Dr. Salah, His Excellency G.V. Srinivas, the Ambassador of India to the Sultanate of Oman, Commodore Amit Srivastav, Indian Navy, Diplomatic Corps, prominent members of the Indian community in Oman involved in this project, and all the dear invited guests. Your presence today reflects the warmth and trust and mutual respect that defines India-Oman relationship. Before we commence the program, may I request you all to raise for the national anthem. I would like to take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq for his continued support and gracious patronage that has enabled such meaningful engagements between our two nations. INSV Kaundinya was an idea born out of the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, gracefully encouraged by His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq and brought to fruition by the Indian Navy. We are honored that INSV Kaundinya has been welcomed at these historic shores, further strengthening the long-standing and warm relations between Oman and India. It seems just yesterday when we all had gathered here to welcome this masterpiece. And today we are here again to bid adieu to Kaundinya on her return passage back home. As we all know, INSV Kaundinya is more than a vessel. It's a living tribute to India's legacy of ancient maritime exploration, trade, and cultural exchange. Her design is based on a 5th century ship depicted in the murals of Ajanta caves. The idea of reconstructing an ancient Indian sailing vessel was conceptualized by the economist, historian, and author Mr. Sanjeev Sanyal. The concept was realized into a project by Commander Hemant Kumar, a naval architect from the Indian Navy. The project was funded by Ministry of Culture and was initiated via tripartite agreement signed between the Ministry of Culture, Indian Navy, and Goa-based shipbuilding company in July 2023. It started its maiden transoceanic journey to Oman from Porbandar, India on 29th December 2025 and docked the shores of Muscat on 14 January 2026. Today marks not just the departure of a ship, but the continuation of a journey that revives ancient maritime roots and celebrates the enduring friendship between two dear nations, India and Oman, bounded by centuries of seafaring history across the Indian Ocean. May I now invite Captain Harish Srinivasan, the Defense Advisor, Embassy of India, Muscat, to kindly deliver the welcome address. Thank you, sir.
A very good morning to everyone. Commodore Abdullah Al Hajri, the head of RNO's Force Structure Committee, our esteemed representative from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Al Zajjali, His Excellency Shri G.V. Srinivas, the Ambassador of India to the Sultanate of Oman, Commodore Amit Srivastav, Chairman, Indian Naval Sailing Association, Excellencies, Ambassadors, and members of the Diplomatic Corps in Muscat, Anil Bhai, the Sheikh of Indian Community, and prominent members of the community who are present here today, and invited guests, and ladies and gentlemen. It is an occasion of immense honor and pride for me as we gather here today to flag off INSV Kaundinya after her successful completion of her historic maiden voyage from Porbandar to Muscat, a voyage that has symbolically retraced the ancient maritime pathways connecting the coasts of India and Oman for centuries. This remarkable expedition was first conceptualized 3 years ago in New Delhi. Though daunting at first and challenging at many times, Indian Navy, as a mark of its true spirit and seamanship, not only conceived but executed the project in style and valor. The ship that stands beside us today is far more than a demonstration of traditional shipbuilding. It is a celebration of our shared maritime heritage, a reminder that the waters of the Arabian Sea have never divided our peoples. They have, in fact, connected them. For millennia, sailors and traders, craftsmen, and communities from Indian Ocean crossed these waters, carrying with them commerce, culture, ideas, and friendship. The stitched ship tradition embodied in Kaundinya represents one of the oldest forms of ocean-going craftsmanship in the Indian Ocean world. Historical evidence shows that vessels built using similar techniques sailed regularly between western coast of India and the ports of Oman, including Sohar, Muscat, and Sur, contributing to the vibrant commercial and cultural exchanges. This voyage, therefore, reconnects us with a living maritime legacy shared by both the civilizations. Kaundinya, which proudly stood in the waters of Oman for the past 24 days, today is returning home. A long journey awaits, first from Muscat to Mumbai, then Mumbai to Karwar, with a stop in Goa. Soon, she will be preparing for her next, even longer voyage towards the Far East. As we bid farewell to her, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge each member and agency that contributed to the success of this voyage. I thank the Foreign Ministry of Sultanate of Oman and Royal Navy of Oman with the deepest sense of gratitude for facilitating multiple clearances, providing technical support, and for their enthusiastic participation at the welcome ceremony, as also today's flag-off ceremony. Oman Sail, Asiat Group controlling the Port Sultan Qaboos, Marina Al Bandar Rauda, Khimji Ramdas Workshop, and Sharaf Shipping have all facilitated the maintenance works that have been carried out on the ship since her arrival in Muscat. I would also like to make a special mention of the efforts of Captain Saleh Al Jabri, who is here with me today from Oman Sail, who is also the skipper of Jewel Muscat, who provided insightful ideas for the project from its inception stage and helped with the maintenance efforts in Muscat. A big shout out to the Gujarati merchant community in Oman, who have been supporting the expedition right from the commencement of the voyage from Porbandar and have organized countless events in Oman to relay the story of Kaundinya and our maritime legacy and to felicitate the crew. They have also been so kind as to arrange for some traditional Gujarati provisions and snack items for the crew during their return voyage. I would like to acknowledge the support and guidance of His Excellency Shri G.V. Srinivas, Ambassador of India to the Sultanate of Oman. Sir, your mentorship consistently inspired us to strive for excellence. I would be amiss if I don't mention the contribution of our team at the Embassy of India, Muscat, who have been instrumental in putting together the various arrangements for the welcome ceremony, as well as today's flag-off. Their dedication and attention to detail in streamlining the associated events is indeed noteworthy. A mention of the remarkable support from the Indian Naval team from directorates in Naval Headquarters, New Delhi, and the maintenance organization in the base port of Karwar that work behind the scenes to make this dream come true is also appropriate. So is a mention of the officers and crew of INS Koswari, which was the escort ship during the onward voyage, and INS Tilanchang, which just sailed out a few minutes back, which is the escort ship on the return voyage. My acknowledgements would not be complete without a mention of Mr. Prathamesh Dandekar from Hodi Innovations Private Limited, the yard where this vessel was built, and also the master craftsmen, Shri Babu Sankaran and Rajesh, and their teams. That leaves me to wish the crew of INSV Kaundinya fair winds and following seas in the return voyage. May Lord Varuna be auspicious unto you. Shamna Varuna, thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for setting the context of the meaningful ceremony and for your warm words of welcome. We are deeply honored to have Commodore Amit Srivastav amongst us today. He wears multiple hats at the Naval Headquarters in New Delhi. He's present here as the chairman, Indian Naval Sailing Association, which has overseen the Kaundinya project. May I now invite sir to share your remarks, please.
Good morning, everyone. Commodore Abdullah Al-Hajri from the Royal Navy of Oman. His Excellency Ambassador Yusuf bin Isa Al-Jadali from the Chief of Human Resources Department, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Sri G.V. Srinivas, the Ambassador of India to Oman. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished representatives from the Indian diaspora and the Omani citizens, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a matter of great pride and privilege to address this distinguished gathering on the occasion of the flag off of the Indian Naval Sailing ship Kaundinya as she commences her return voyage onwards back to India. The visit of INSV Kaundinya to Oman holds deep significance. More than just a sailing expedition, this voyage represents a living tribute to the centuries-old maritime linkages between India and Oman, forged by trade, navigation, cultural exchange, and the shared wisdom of seafarers who traversed the Indian Ocean long before the modern nation-states came into being. In that sense, Kaundinya not only carries the crew, but also the shared maritime memory and a rich past of the two nations. India and Oman are bound by common values of mutual respect, trust, and cooperation. These values find strong expression in the close professional relationship, which continues to contribute significantly to maritime safety and security in the region through coordinated patrols, training, professional exchanges, and cooperation with the Royal Navy of Oman, aimed at ensuring the freedom of navigation and the safety of vital sea lanes that sustain global trade and regional prosperity. Equally important is our shared responsibility as custodians of maritime culture and heritage. Through initiatives such as this voyage, we reaffirm that the seas are not merely strategic spaces, but also cultural bridges that connect people and civilizations. Kaundinya stands as a symbol of this shared legacy and our collective commitment to preserving and celebrating it for the future generations. On behalf of the crew of Kaundinya, the support team, and the entire apparatus of the Indian Navy, I would like to place on record our sincere appreciation to the Embassy of India at Oman for its steadfast support, guidance, and detailed planning which went on for several months. The mission's close coordination and wholehearted assistance were instrumental in ensuring the successful conduct of this visit and achieving the associated arrangements and engagements with the society at large in Muscat. I would like to specially thank the Indian diaspora who, through their warmth, support, and continuous engagement, have carried forward the story of India and Oman through the eyes of Kaundinya for a rich future. This adds a special pride and connection to this visit. It remains for me to also thank the government of the Sultanate of Oman, the Royal Navy of Oman, and our Omani friends at large for the exceptional hospitality, warmth, and support extended to the vessel and the entire crew throughout this long duration of stay at Muscat. The generosity and brotherhood experienced here have left a lasting impression on all of us. For the crew of INSV Kaundinya, Oman will always remain a place associated with friendship, camaraderie, and deep mutual respect. As Kaundinya sails onward today, she carries with her fond memories of this land and its people and the enduring spirit of maritime brotherhood that binds the two nations across the Arabian Sea. We look forward to more such voyages from Omani ships to India and our own Indian ships back to Oman and beyond in the future. Thank you. Jai Hind, Shamno Varna.
Thank you very much, Commodore, for your insightful words and reminding us of the dedication, skill, and spirit that empowers this remarkable voyage. May I now request His Excellency G.V. Srinivas, the Ambassador of India to the Sultanate of Oman, to address the esteemed gathering today.
Assalamu alaikum. Namaskar. Good morning. I am happy with this change of the sequence of the various speeches today that helped me, that made sure that everybody who mattered has been thanked by my defense advisor. Thank you very much, DA, for not missing out a single soul who have been actually behind the successful venture of this INSV Kaundinya all the way from Porbandar here, now on the way back to India, but not necessarily resting there, just preparing for the further journeys ahead. I would nevertheless repeat some of the thanks from my side, all of us. Thanks to Sultan, His Majesty Haitham bin Tariq, who has been very kind to permit us for organizing these kinds of events day after day. Very vibrant Indian community here of 700,000, of course down from 1.3 million in the past, nevertheless is beneficiary of this kindness of His Majesty Sultan, and so is the embassy. The entire venture began, as was already described by the anchor and also referred to by both Amit and DA, emerged from a conversation between Honorable Prime Minister of India and His Majesty Sultan when the Majesty visited India as part of a successful state visit in December 2023. An expedition of this nature, why is it undertaken? This is just to remind us how our ancestors have been contributing the strength of India-Oman relationship. It is not necessarily as new as the strategic partnership of 2008, 70 years of diplomatic relations, 170 to 200 years of close business engagements, or for that matter, many of the expeditions take. It is more than 1,500 years of history. That is what INSV Kaundinya is reliving here, trying to see the kind of challenges that our ancestors faced as they wished to connect the two sides, that is India and Oman, through a very vibrant trade. I would be only referring to a couple of thoughts which I have been having ever since this conversation, extensive ones online with our team back in India and here, which we had undertaken. Not to forget Captain Saleh, who had been the one to lead Jews of Muscat all the way from India via that to Singapore, etc., whose experience has been very, very illustrative and informative to make sure that this venture was equally successful. Even that journey, I think, was a great India-Oman collaboration, as there are many other projects which are going to relive a similar history, perhaps more recent ones, but they're all in the making. This expedition from the Indian side is not only celebrating the history, but also the skills that Indians have in shipbuilding, something which can go to the sea. But let me tell you, waiting for this ship to arrive here has been as adventurous as watching an cricket match T20. We were constantly watching whether it is staying on course, or is it going to arrive in time, is it heading towards Oman, or all the way being pushed back to the shores of India. And that's precisely what happened. A ship which does not have a motor does have these kinds of challenges. When you leave yourself to the wind god, as they say in Indian philosophy, that don't try being somebody who tries to control the destiny, just let yourself flow through water, the water of the river in the same direction, that will give you help. But this case, obviously no. They had really lost a day or two as the winds pushed them back all the way towards Mumbai. But nevertheless, the tenacity of the entire team, 18-member crew, Sanyal, Amit, his team, Captain Hemant, Harish, all of them really made sure that this stayed course and arrived here. We were expecting it to come here on 8th of January as per our prediction of the currents, but the nature does not necessarily conform to our forecast. Neither 8, 9, 10, 11, and that is when I had to leave. And I'm glad that at least the sea-off, a farewell, a flag-off of the ship is happening when I'm around. Because when it came on 14th, I was not here, I was back in India for another important reason, because of which I had to miss this very momentous occasion. But happy I am that today not only did I participate, am I participating here, but also we had a chance to actually go and feel the ship, on which around 2 weeks they spent, 2 more weeks to go before they reach India. What they mentioned to me also is that this ship can actually carry a lot of load, practically can repeat what our ancestors had done, loading it with all sorts of goods, merchandise back from Mandvi, Porbandar, etc. to India. But this time it is not business that is in mind, it is actually a successful venture, and that's the reason that they are having dummy load onto it. Underneath there's nothing, it's all dummy load. I think only over the deck is where they all live. I'm sure that is a correct explanation of this. I'm also happy that we are not necessarily sitting here. We actually took a number of pictures. Others who did not take pictures may have to make do with the pictures which I took along with my esteemed ambassadorial colleagues here, all of who are sitting across this table here. Thank you for joining in this celebration. Many more to come in the future, connecting India and Oman. Honorable Prime Minister of India had made a great successful visit to Oman in December 2025, just 2 years after His Majesty had visited India. The entire vision, one of the documents which was issued is maritime vision document, and it is not misplaced that such a document was issued as part of this great visit that the Prime Minister undertook here, connecting once again, underlining, emphasizing the strength that the two countries have in the maritime sector. Of course, in the present modern days, we need to also pacify waters. We are collaborating with each other to make sure that all those people who want to disturb this entire thing are not allowed to do so. Indian Navy, Royal Oman Navy, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Embassy of India, all of us work very closely at times over the weekend, awkward hours, etc., to make sure that these waters remain navigable, where the ships can ply, whether they are for the defense purposes, ensuring security, combating narco trafficking, arms dealing, all of them are part of India-Oman collaboration as we speak here today. So all in all, a great day added to India-Oman celebration, and this is also a very befitting conclusion of a year-long celebration that we began last year, February, when Honorable External Affairs Minister of India had come and unveiled the logo of celebration of India-Oman diplomatic relations. So today, after a series of events, once again I recount the support by the Indian community here, through which we organize a series of events, not necessarily cultural, people to people, but also ranging beyond that to trade, economic, and the signing of the India-Oman Free Trade Agreement, and its soon anticipated going into force, has charged up the two sides to make sure that the two countries, which are not necessarily separated by waters and ocean, but are connected by this water bridge, the two who are actually neighbors do much more than what they do as we speak today. With all, thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai India, Oman. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your inspiring address and for highlighting the deep diplomatic and cultural ties that connect our two nations across time and tides. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now proceed with group photography. May I now request Commodore Abdullah Al-Hajri from Royal Navy Oman and Commodore Amit Srivastav from Indian Navy, His Excellency Ambassador Yusuf bin Isa Al-Zajjali, Chief HR Department, Foreign Ministry, His Excellency G.V. Srinivas, the Ambassador of India to the Sultanate of Oman, Captain Harish Srinivasan, the Defense Advisor, Embassy of India, Muscat, Captain Saleh Al-Jabri from Oman Sail, crew of INSV Kaundinya, and officers from the Indian Navy support team to kindly assemble for the official photograph to commemorate this historic occasion. May I request gentlemen and ladies to please come? Thank you.
We arrive at the highlight of today's program, the official flag-off of INSV Kaundinya. May I respectfully invite Commodore Abdullah Al-Hajri and Commodore Amit Srivastav, Ambassador His Excellency Yusuf Al-Zarchari, Ambassador His Excellency T.V. Shiraz, to kindly flag off the jetty at red signal. The ship will be flagged off by the waving of the checkered flag, making the commencement of the next leg of historic voyage. I will request all the guests to convey their best wishes to the brave crew. We wish the crew servants and foreign seas. Wishing you all the best. May you reach home quickly. चलाने पर जोर से बोलेंगे वंदे मातरम। भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की। Thank you so much. Wishing you all the very best.
Dignitaries, distinguished guests, officers, and everyone who joined us this morning. Thank you all for being part of this historic flag-off. With this, the ceremony stands concluded. We invite all our respected guests to join us for refreshments. And once again, please accept our heartfelt gratitude for being part of this proud and memorable moment. With this, your host Anshu, I'll sign off. Have a pleasant day ahead. Thank you and Jai Hind.